Imagine you're 22 years old, just became the most hyped rookie in WNBA history, and Ice Cube himself calls with this line, "Yo, Caitlin, how about $15 million to hoop this summer?" Most of us would have fainted, signed the contract mid-coma, and immediately Googled how to buy a yacht, but Caitlin Clark, she basically hit Cube with the coldest no-look pass of her career and said, "Nah, I'm good." Today, we're diving into the 7 insane reasons Caitlin Clark rejected the most shocking $15 million offer in basketball history.
Caitlin Clark just made two of the most shocking business moves of the year. First, she looked a staggering $15 million offer right in the eyes and flat out rejected it. And we're going to show you exactly where that money came from and the real reason she said no. But the deal she accepted with Stanley reveals her true strategy, and it's a genius move that could make her far more than $15 million in the long run. So stick around as we break down these powerhouse decisions and give you the latest on her much anticipated return to the court.
The offer was real, and it was absolutely insane. Alright, let's set the scene. Caitlin Clark is fresh off rewriting the NCAA history books, literally the all-time leading scorer, the face of Iowa basketball, and the #1 overall pick in the 2024 WNBA draft. She's trending on Twitter, headlining ESPN, and basically can't order Starbucks without somebody asking for an autograph. She's that big. Now, enter the plot twist. The Big 3, Ice Cube's 3-on-3 Summer League, decides to slide into the conversation with an offer so wild it felt like clickbait at first. The first report said it was $5 million for just 8 games. $5 million for 8 games. That's $625,000 per game. To put that in perspective, a rookie in the WNBA, like Clark, makes around $76,000 for the entire season. Do the math, that's basically 80 times her per game WNBA check.
$15 million. That's life-changing money for anyone, let alone a rookie athlete. So where did this unbelievable offer come from, and why on earth would Caitlin Clark turn it down? So the offer, as you guys can see on the article on the screen, was from the Big 3, the 3-on-3 basketball league founded by the one and only Ice Cube. And the first offer was already huge, a cool $5 million ball. But in a sign of just how desperate they were to get Clark, they tripled it, blowing it up to a massive $15 million. And get this, it wasn't for a full year. It was for a 10-week season. The pitch was simple. Come play in the Big 3, be the undisputed star, cash a paycheck that makes most pro basketball salaries, men's or women's, look like pocket change, right? And this was an aggressive and honestly brilliant move by Ice Cube, and he saw the Caitlin Clark effect, baby, in the sold-out arenas, in the insane TV ratings, and the buzz she brought to the WNBA. But landing her would have been a game changer, instantly putting the Big 3 on the map globally, baby. And the fan reaction exploded because on one side you had people who couldn't believe it, questioning how anyone walks away from that kind of fortune, and on the other you have fans praising her loyalty to the WNBA and her team, the Indiana Fever.
The Big 3 isn't the big time. Don't get it twisted. The Big 3 is fun. Founded by Ice Cube, it's got 3-on-3 half-court action, former NBA stars, and enough trash talk to power a Netflix series. But compared to the WNBA, it's a side quest. Think about it, Caitlin Clark didn't spend years torching defenses from the logo just to play in what is essentially basketball's Legends of Summer tour. The WNBA is where real legacies are built: championships, MVPs, Olympic golds, Hall of Fame resumes. The Big 3, it's a great summer show, but it doesn't have the history, the competition, or the global respect that Clark's chasing. Joining the Big 3 would have been like LeBron skipping the NBA to join a celebrity dunk contest. Fun, sure, but career-defining? Not even close. Clark knew this wasn't the league to cement her name next to Diana Taurasi or Lisa Leslie. The money might have been real, but the legacy wasn't. Now if you're thinking, okay, but $15 million is life-changing, you're right. But Caitlin's bank account already had a cheat code.
Caitlin Clark with the new Stanley Cup deal. It's amazing. I gotta go get my cup. I gotta get my t-shirt and my Stanley Cup. You already know. Caitlin Clark got it popping. Deal after deal after deal. Let's take a look at the commercial. Oh man, they got different styles too. They got all different cups, man. I definitely need my Stanley. Man. Caitlin Clark continuing to rake in the deals by the boatload. It's stuff like this. It's things like this as to why she can turn down $15 million from Ice Cube and the Big Three. These type of deals. The sneakers is on the way. The CC ones is on the way. The logo ones. Get 2 pair if you can. I'm getting a few pair. You know what I mean?
Endorsements made the $15 million look small. Here's the thing people forget: athletes don't just make money from salaries anymore. They make it from logos. Caitlin Clark is basically a walking endorsement magnet. Nike signed her to an 8-year, $28 million deal before she even laced up for her first WNBA game. That's the richest sneaker deal in WNBA rookie history. Add in Gatorade, Wilson, State Farm, Buick, and a laundry list of other sponsors. She's already pulling in more annually than most NBA role players. So when Ice Cube waved $15 million, Clark was like, "Cute, but I've got Nike paying me that over coffee and protein shakes." The Big Three money would have been a one-off jackpot. Endorsements are the gift that keeps giving, and they scale with exposure. The bigger her profile in the WNBA, the bigger those checks get. Why risk all that for a short-term bag? Which brings us perfectly to exposure, because that's where Clark's real gold mine is. The WNBA is a spotlight factory. In sports, exposure is currency, and Caitlin Clark has been the ultimate ratings magnet. The Indiana Fever had 36 nationally televised games in her rookie season, the most ever for a WNBA team. She's pulling TV numbers that rival NBA broadcasts. ESPN, ABC, Amazon Prime, you name it, she's on it. The Big Three, it doesn't have that same megaphone. Sure, it's got a cult following, but it's not making SportsCenter every night or filling arenas with sold-out crowds. The WNBA gives Clark the platform to be seen by millions, not just thousands, and in today's game, visibility is worth more than a one-time payday. Clark knows her brand isn't built in a Vegas ballroom with half-court buckets. It's built on national TV, with every shot analyzed, every highlight trending, and every kid at home yelling Logo 3 while wearing her jersey. Of course, even if the spotlight's brighter, you still have to play smart, and timing, my friends, is everything.
And then there is the part people forget. She's not exactly hurting for cash. Caitlin Clark is a marketing machine. Before even playing a single WNBA game, she signed a massive deal with Nike, complete with her own signature shoe on the way. Her logo just came out, so add deals with Gatorade, State Farm, and Wilson, and she's one of the most marketable athletes on the planet. Her brand is built on being authentic and committed to her sport, and jumping to another league could have diluted that brand and sent a weird message to her fans and partners, and she and her team know the most powerful brands tell a consistent story.
Scheduling was a nightmare waiting to happen. Here's something a lot of people missed. The Big Three season directly overlaps with the WNBA. That means if Caitlin said yes, she'd have to choose between the two. And spoiler alert, the WNBA wasn't about to let its number one pick moonlight in another league. Picture this: Clark drops 30 points for the Fever on a Friday night in Indiana, then hops on a red-eye to play 3-on-3 half-court in Vegas on Saturday. That's not just exhausting, that's reckless. The wear and tear alone could derail her career, and Clark has already had to battle nagging injuries. So risking her body for 10 weeks of cash wasn't just risky, it was dumb. Long-term greatness requires long-term thinking, and Clark wasn't about to trade durability for dollar signs. And if the schedule clash wasn't messy enough, the drama behind the scenes sure didn't help. The Big Three drama got messy. When the Big Three made their offer public, it didn't just look bold, it looked desperate. They used Clark's name as a marketing stunt, splashing headlines everywhere like she was already 1 foot in the door. And then came the fallout. Rachel Demita, one of the league's commentators, was literally fired after mentioning Caitlin Clark on air. Imagine losing your job just for saying the most famous basketball player in the country's name. That's not professional, that's petty. For Clark, tying her brand to that kind of chaos was a nightmare waiting to happen. She's the hottest name in women's basketball. She doesn't need gimmicks or controversy to stay relevant. Aligning with the Big Three would have been like Michael Jordan co-signing the XFL cool headline, but bad long-term look. So when you strip it all down, what's left? The real reason she walked away from $15 million.
Where I was getting to was, when you put these two moves together, turning down Big Three's cash and embracing the Stanley partnership, her master plan became or becomes crystal clear, because Caitlin Clark is playing chess, not checkers. She's choosing long-term brand power over a short-term payday, and turning down the fast money from the Big Three was a calculated move to protect her identity as a dedicated WNBA superstar. And taking that deal could have painted her as someone just chasing the biggest check, and by saying no, she doubled down on her image of loyalty and dedication. And at the same time, the Stanley deal shows she knows her net worth. It shows a deep understanding of modern marketing. Instead of taking the loud money, she went for a smart partnership that deepens her connection with her core fans and expands her reach. And this is exactly how legends like Michael Jordan with Nike or LeBron James with his business empire did it. Their success wasn't just about why they did it on the court, it was about smart, strategic brand building. And it looks like Clark and her team are betting their earning potential from a curated list of top-tier endorsements will eventually blow that $15 million offer out the water, baby. And it's a bet on herself.
Caitlin Clark is betting on legacy, not loot. This is the bottom line. Caitlin Clark knows she's bigger than a payday. She's not chasing quick checks, she's chasing immortality. The WNBA is where legends are made, where championships and Olympic medals cement your place in history. By rejecting the Big Three, Clark sent a message: I'm not here for the sideshow. I'm here to change the game. And honestly, it's working. She's already one of the most talked about athletes in America. She's breaking viewership records, and she's pulling kids and new fans into women's basketball like never before. Money fades, but legacy doesn't. 10 years from now, nobody's going to say, hey, remember that time Caitlin Clark made a quick $15 million in a half-court league? They're going to say, she transformed the WNBA, and she did it on her terms.
Hey, that just goes to show you the value that she brings to the WNBA. Because if people were willing to give her that before she even stepped foot on a WNBA court, what do you think she's really worth? One can only fathom. But other than that, I think this comes to no surprise. Her fan base and the attention she brings, that she would have been able to bring to that league, it would have been an investment that was worth it, because that's the only thing people would have been talking about. The Big Three would have probably got more publicity and notoriety over the WNBA if she were to have participated in that. Which is, as a businessman, I can only respect them for reaching for the moon and aiming for the stars. So, hey, other than that, I got no complaints. I wish she would have taken it just so we could see how she would fare up against those older retired NBA players. I would love to see it, but it didn't happen. We'll see what happens.
So yeah, Caitlin Clark turned down a summer payday that could have bought her an island. And in doing so, she proved something way bigger sometimes. The smartest play isn't chasing the money, it's chasing the moment. What do you think? Did Caitlin just make the ultimate power move? Or did she leave way too much cash on the table? Drop your takes in the comments. Smash that subscribe button for more spicy sports breakdowns. And remember, the biggest flex isn't always saying yes sometimes, it's saying no.